Pooh Light Up My Life seemed like it was going to be really great. This seemed like it was going to be such a fascinating topic, and it's tremendously disappointing. This is the second segment of the fourth episode of the first season of My Friends Tigger and Pooh, and it's at night time, it's quite dark, there are a lot of fireflies, or lightning bugs as they call them, and Lumpy is a little bit scared. So he decides to find out more about them, which I think is a really great tactic when you're scared of something. Learning more can help to put your mind at ease. And the super sleuths try and find out how fireflies light up. And I thought, great, we're going to have something quite scientific. I was really curious to find out how they'd solve the mystery and how they'd come to the right conclusion. And they didn't. Now, I don't think I'm asking too much for an actual answer rather than a cop out, but I think maybe they've tried to take on a mystery that's too advanced for the target audience and they weren't able to provide an answer that the target audience could understand, so they decided to just make it up instead. And I also want to point out the question is how do they make their lights, not why? And they answered it, and this is a spoiler, I guess, for the outcome, by saying they're talking to each other. Now, if that's true, fantastic, but that's why do they make their lights, not how. And they've not actually solved the mystery, they've not answered the question. Had they phrased it why, that might have been different. I might have been okay with it. Why do they do it? They do it to talk to each other. I don't know if that's actually true, maybe it is, but they haven't actually answered how they light up. And honestly, I'm tremendously disappointed because it sounded like it was going to be a really fun, somewhat scientific episode that would be really educational, really informative, and instead they didn't actually solve the mystery. So tremendously let down. Obviously, it's a children's show, I can't get too annoyed by it, but they set out to do something and they failed to do it as an episode. So it's not good. It really isn't. Maybe I'm being pedantic, but it's in the wording. If you're trying to solve how they do something and you don't find out how they do it, you haven't solved the mystery. So it's not a good episode. Pooh Light Up My Life could have been brilliant, and unfortunately, although it's a little bit educational, it is ultimately not a good mystery.